You know what? I'll take that. That's pretty lucky. Let's take that. Okay, well that's a pretty damn good game plan. Not gonna lie. Like, that is quite literally fire. If this Gardevoir was a little bit better, I feel like it'd perform a little bit better, but I think that's fine. Hey guys, so I accidentally left my microphone on mute while recording this, so I'm just going to run a post commentary so it's not just awkwardly quiet the whole time. At this stage, I'd finished making my game plan for Koga, and I felt pretty confident about it. I knew if I played my cards right and like dodged a few bad RNG rolls, I should probably get through this fight deathless. But first thing I needed to do was visit the move tutor in Celadon City. I needed a Gengar to relearn Fire Punch so I could safely one-shot the fortress that Koga brings out. I then decided to teach Surf to Swampert. It's just more reliable than Muddy Water really, and I knew if I got in a pickle and Muddy Water missed, I'd be pretty dirty with myself for not doing this, so that's what I did. I taught Strength to Aggron over Headbutt. Really, I don't think it was necessary, but it did more damage, so just a safety blanket thing, I guess. The last move, which I had to teach, was Return to my big boy Snorlax. So Snorlax was my Tentacruel counter, and I knew 2 hits from Return was just guaranteed to get the knockout here, so got all that done. And then moving on to the final preparations needed was the item management. I felt pretty happy giving the leftovers to Snorlax. I thought, you know, if needed, he could be a switch in to help pivot, and leftovers is great for that because you just recover health along the way. I decided to give a Chesto Berry to Scizor. He was going to be my Venomoth counter who would probably want to spam sleep powders on me and try and put me to sleep. Aggron's item choice was easy. He got leftovers as he would be in for a few turns against Crobat, and it didn't take too much damage. Leftovers here just allowed me to stay in until Aggron had pretty much done its job. Gardevoir was given the Twisted Spoon. This basically just guaranteed a psychic one-shot on the Weezing, instead of it being like a 90-something% chance to get it done. Gengar, he got the last leftovers. There's not really a reason here except that Swampert wasn't going to need it and I had one left over, so that's what he got stuck with. And then with Swampert, once again, not really needed, but I just gave him the Mystic Water. Like, I don't think these two, Gengar and Swampert, were going to take too much damage, so it didn't really matter what item they had, but anyway, that's what they got. And then, yeah, with all that prep out of the way, we were pretty much ready to take on Koga. So, Koga was leading with Weezing, which I had a really safe kill here with Gardevoir, just a Psychic, one-shot it. So yeah, that was no issue. Originally, I was actually going to lead with Snorlax and try and bait an Explosion, and then switch into Gengar, but this was just more guaranteed to work, so yeah, that's what I did. Pretty easy kill, really. So after that, Venomoth actually gets baited here, and there's an incoming Silverwind. So I know I have to switch because Gardevoir is probably dead here. So the counter I had to this was Scizor. He definitely tanks the incoming Silverwind, and yeah, all his other damaging moves doesn't really leave much of a mark. So it was a bit of a no-brainer here switching into Scizor. Plus I had him calculated to two-shot this with Aerial Ace, so that was going to be, well, it was a range, but I feel like a two-shot was pretty guaranteed to get the kill here. So yeah, that lands. It does, what, 11 damage, so really not a whole lot. So I was pretty confident at this stage. When Psychic came in, I didn't know how much that was going to do, but once again, it did very, very little. And Aerial Ace hit, did over half, which I felt good about. And then what I forgot was that this Venomoth actually has a Citrus Berry. So the problem now is that Aerial Ace won't two-shot it. It will leave it in the red. You did just see that I did dodge a Sleep Powder, which was massive, because if I got hit by that Sleep Powder, I would have had to use the Chesto Berry up. And right here, he heals back up Venomoth to full, so now it's another two-shot of Aerial Ace. And if I had used my Chesto Berry, I might have gone to sleep on this Sleep Powder coming in. But lucky enough, that misses as well. So I got pretty lucky there. If both of them hit, you know, this fight might have gone a little bit differently. I mean, I could have tanked some of the Psychics coming in, so it wasn't anything too crazy. But yeah, it's nice to, you know, get a small win like that. So Tentacruel comes in. This is baiting Surf, I'm pretty sure. So I know that I'm going to switch out and Like I said before, I knew Snorlax was going to be my counter to this. A few returns would easily get the job done. And yeah, I think I easily lived a few surfs. So yeah, there was no worry here at all, really. So yeah, the surf comes in. Yeah, it did about, what, 20% or something like that. So really not much, but leftovers is just comes in really handy here. Yeah, so it does outspeed me, gets another surf off, but yeah, that's fine in the long run. One return, should do over 50% from memory. Yeah, does heaps. So I can't remember what item this thing had either. I think it was a Mystic Water, so its surf was doing a little bit more damage, but nothing to really phase me. And then the final return, yeah, that comes in and takes out the Tentacruel. So far I felt pretty good through this. I mean, we've got 3 kills, all pretty clean, and most of my team's still looking healthy. And then he sends out Fortress, which I feel pretty confident in this. I know Gengar Fire Punch is going to one-shot this Fortress, so it was a bit of a no-brainer switching out to him. The problem I was a bit worried about is I think he had Fire Blast, I think, this Fortress. So I was a bit worried that he was going to hit Fire Blast and maybe I get burned and all that stuff. But he just set up spikes, so that was a pretty good, yeah, pretty good. I don't know what the word is. But anyway, so Fire Punch comes in. Yeah, one-shots it. Nice and easy. Very clean. That's our 4th kill. And then we're just down to 2. So this is where Crobat comes in. Now, Crobat, I think, was the one I was most worried about. Just because my counter for him was Aggron. And Aggron didn't really... I didn't safely 2-hit this. It was a very low chance that I was going to 2-hit this. So I had to stay in for a little while. And there was a few things that could happen. Well, there's one, which is a Confuse Ray. I thought he was going to go for the Shadow Ball because I had Gengar in, but he went for the Confuse Ray, and now I started getting a little panic because I thought, well, if I stay confused for 3 turns, hit myself all 3, and he lands all his hits, like I might start getting into a little bit of an iffy. But with leftovers on this as well, I felt a little bit better. Shadow Ball did no damage, which I was pretty happy about. But then I got the Spadef drop, which I don't think really mattered. I mean, he was doing such little damage. I got the self-hit and confusion. This is where I started thinking, oh god, like, is this is this gonna end badly? Am I gonna have to improvise here? Another Shadow Ball come in. Still didn't do a whole lot of damage, so I felt pretty confident at this stage. And then I finally hit through a Confusion, and I got a really good Iron Tail roll. I was just over 50%. I think it was yeah, it was definitely a high roll because, like I said in the calcs, I wasn't very likely to 2-shot this, so I was kind of hoping at this stage, you know, fingers crossed, that I could get the kill here, which I managed to pull through the Confusion, and then Iron Tail did do another roll, which was good. And you can see I was pretty pumped here at this stage because I wasn't expecting that to 2-hit. But yeah, so I felt really good in this position. And then his last mon was the Electrode. So Electrode came in. I had a really safe counter for this because it's its last mon. It wasn't going to explode. And then it's had Thunder Wave and also Thunderbolt, I believe. And then its last move was Sharpen. So I knew, like, if I went into a ground mon, this could not damage me at all. So I knew this was just an easy switch into Swampert. It completely walls this. It's not going to boom. It can't use any of its electric moves. So it's just going to Sharpen, and it's just a free kill. And there's the Thunder. Oh, it had Thunder, not Thunderbolt. There you go. So yeah, it doesn't affect it. Super easy. All I got to do now is just hit it with a couple of mud shots. Actually, I think I might have even just one-shot this with a mud shot. And yeah, there goes the Sharpen. That's all he can do. So yeah, really no threat at all. But yeah, I think overall this fight went so bloody well. Like, so well. I was a little bit worried going into it, but when I started running the calcs, I was like, oh, this is actually very, very doable. So yeah, felt very good to get that done. there was a few moments there, like if the Venomoth landed both at Sleep Powders, or if, you know, Aggron hit itself in Confusion a few more times, or even missed the Iron Tails, like the Iron Tails weren't guaranteed to hit. You know, it could have gotten a little bit iffy, but really everything went pretty good. So yeah, I grabbed the Soul Badge and got the Toxic TM, which, yeah, I'm sure is going to come in handy later, and that's pretty much how it all went. So I just want to say thank you for anyone who is watching this. I hope you're enjoying it. I definitely am. I feel pretty confident that I might actually knock this over in one attempt. So, you know, I feel very good about that. If you want to watch my streams, I'm very irregular with my streaming, but I do stream maybe like every second or third day. You can head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/JeckyBrecky. Go check it out. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.